Hello everyone, my name is Keshav and welcome to the Buckner Project's series on financial literacy videos. Today, we're going to be talking about what you do when you get money through allowances and how you should budget. In our first video, we talked about wants and needs and how you should prioritize needs and then use the remaining money to indulge in your wants, but also to make sure that you save for emergencies. It's important to find a balance between the money you spend on necessities or needs, the money you save, and the money you can spend on whatever else you want. The easiest way to do this is through a concept called a budget. A budget will help you plan your expenses and see where your money is going. A budget is a way for you to decide how much money you need to spend per month on necessities such as rent and food, and decide how much you wish to save, and then understand how much money you have left over to spend. But a budget will only work if you put in realistic plans and stick to them. In many ways, this means you will need to make choices. In order to start creating a budget, you need to make sure that all your income and expense details are readily available. When choosing what to spend your money on, you must first set aside money for your necessities: rent, food, utilities, toiletries, etc. Toiletries is a fancy word for everyday necessities that are goods, which means they're tangible. A napkin would be a toiletry, for an example. Toothpaste as well. Put aside slightly more than you think you will need. It's better to end up with extra money at the end of the month than not have enough. That means that you'll need to dip into your savings, which is something that you really shouldn't be doing on a month-to-month basis. Once you have put aside money for your monthly necessities, you may wish to allocate about 15 to 20% of your income on savings. These savings can be used in case of emergencies and can also be invested in order for your money to grow. After that, you are left with the money you can spend on whatever you want. Make responsible decisions. You might not want to spend all of your money on one thing, but as long as you have a budget and have set aside the necessary amounts for expenses and savings, go ahead and treat yourself responsibly. More often than not, when we buy things, we need to make trade-offs, which means that we have to give up buying something else so that we can buy something new. It's really in the word. You're trading one thing for another. Well, of course, we don't want to give something we want, but that's the reality. We all only have limited money available to buy things. Here's some good advice. Ask yourself these questions before you go and buy something, and be ready for trade-offs. Ask yourself, do I need or want it? Is it cheaper at another store? Can I live with something similar or cheaper? A similar or cheaper good to the one you wish to buy is called a substitution. An example of a substitution would be buying an off-brand shoe to a name brand shoe like Nike, Adidas, or Puma. They'll be cheaper, and in some cases they might be the exact same quality, but they won't have the name brand attached to it. Is there a better way to spend my money? Can I modify my budget to be able to afford this? If you keep a diary of every dollar you spend, you'll see where your money is going, or where it shouldn't be going. I recommend journaling your budget, since it will help you think about where your money is going. It will also help you answer the question, how can I modify my budget so that I can afford what I want? That's all there really is to budgeting. It's quite easy, and it helps your money go further. But the most important thing to remember is that you need to be able to spend your money wisely and have the self-discipline to be able to stick to your budget. Now that y'all have learned most of what there is to budgeting, try creating a budget of your own. Find a budget online. When you're finished filling it out, print out your budget and keep it where you can see it. That way, going through your day-to-day business, you'll be reminded of making smart decisions with your money. One last piece of advice. Spend your money wisely and consciously, keeping your budget in mind. As always, thank you for tuning in to this lesson of the Buckner Project's series on financial literacy videos. We thank y'all for being such great listeners, and as always, stay learning.